All right, good evening. That's what time it is here. As a great man once said, either the sun is up or the sun is down. However, it is currently almost 10 p.m. on January the 16th, 2025. So, this is episode 2 of the DC Daily, your daily dose. And if you're just joining, I appreciate you joining and subscribing. I know that takes time, and that's not a lot of something that we all have, right? So I appreciate everybody doing that. Sorry, still getting used to the mic a little bit. Don't mean to hurt your ears. We're going to keep it rolling, though, unedited. So, as I said in the last episode, you're going to hear a lot of just original tunes. Just came up with that for y'all, just a 8-bar thing. And today's episode is inspired by something that a great man also once said, and his name is Mr. Steve Griffin. He's the big man, the boss man up in the Gainesville, Georgia area. And he inspired me to talk about the importance of music today. So, since it's just episode 2, I feel led to give you a fun fact about myself if you don't know me, because a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people in this world. And today's fun fact about me is that I would love to be a great-grandfather someday, because as I mentioned in the last episode, I got to know my great-grandmother, and that is part of what shaped my life, even though it was a very small part of it, really. And someday, I would like to do that someday before I actually lose my mind. And in my younger days, I actually, I didn't, not to get dark on everybody first thing, but I thought maybe I wouldn't even last past 27, like the old greats, they say. But yeah, I'm really happy to want to say that I want to be a great grandfather. Hopefully that, I pray that can happen. And for anybody who is not feeling as good about it as I am right now, there is hope. And there's hope inside of us, each of us. So, moving on, and sorry again about the mic. I'll do better, just like I said last time. Each time I learn a little something new each episode. So we'll see how many this will take to do it, quote, perfectly. Today's episode for the DC Daily, your daily doses on the importance of music. And I wanted to give a little disclaimer first thing. I am not a doctor of music. I have known a couple doctors of music who have told me some great things that I remember, but I am not a doctor. So with that being said, we're going to do a little interlude here. Jam for a moment. All right. So, you're in my garage. Sorry that there's some other noises in the background. I'm going to start off with talking about the importance of music, inspired by Mr. Steve Griffin, talking about 4 perspectives that I think we need to consider firsthand, which is the listener, the player, the creator, and then I also even wrote the opportunist, or the business person that might be involved with music. There may be more. I welcome comments on that. So first things first, the listener. Myself as a listener of music and a lover of listening of music, music can make you feel vindicated. It can change your mood. It can enhance your mood. It can invoke energy, emotion, or inspiration. I can even clarify thoughts for many. And some listeners, including myself, even just listen to support the artist because the artist seems to be like them, or maybe they look up to them or admire them. So I'm sure there's more. Put them in the comments if you got them. The player is the second perspective here. So as a player of music and a lover of playing of music, expression is a huge part of playing someone else's music or your own music. Passion, teamwork, especially if you're playing with others, and it could be a small group or a large band or orchestra. Discipline. A lot of people don't realize how much discipline is involved in playing even basic, quote, basic music. I wrote down a word that I don't really like too much, honestly, but power. I do believe that is something that is, there is power in playing music. So take that as you will. And then lastly, some, I think, are players just to even be, quote, a player. And I'm going to leave that as it is, and, you can take it as it is. Okay, so the opportunist, the business person, sees value in the sound that they're hearing, right? Or sees value in the following of the artist or the sound. They, in their world, or maybe this world, as things change, they are the deciders of the next trend, right? The opportunist or the business person has the means, but not necessarily musical talent. And lastly, because I'm not going to end it that way, gives artists a larger platform much of the time. The final perspective that I want to talk about for today's episode is the creator. So as a creator of music, I think the importance of it is, that you can be all of the above that I just spoke about, a listener, a player, and an opportunist / business person all at the same time. As a creator, I'm driven by inspiration, passion, and I think what some folks would call the muse, quote, the muse. Enough skill to create realistic pieces. So I wrote that down because over the years of learning about music, I've studied lots of different types of artists with different styles, and something that's important to me as a creator of music is that it can be understood and it can be repeated. And then again, I wrote that word, that power word, because for anybody else out there, I know you feel the same way. If you create something and you feel good about something that you created, there is power in that because you get to learn more about yourself, which is really cool. So last thing about the creator that I wrote about here is the choice of using powers for good or for evil. So that's kind of related to the power thing that I'm talking about. And I think that is separation between the power between the creator and the power between the player is the creator, I think, has a little more elevated mindset there and gets to choose where things go or where they want them to go. Lastly, little interlude here. We'll break it up. I'm curious if you want to leave comments on just how this tune makes you feel too. What words come to mind. I won't take it personally too. I think it might be bad news. We all need to know how to take it. Alright, so physics of sound. I wanted to talk about this a little bit in this episode because I do think, well, for me, it relates to the importance of music. And for any music therapists out there, I know they'll agree as well. But here's my simple, basic thoughts on it to relate to everything else. So, sound is waves. Brains run on brain waves. Everyone's body has a cadence, or cadences actually, depending on what you may be doing, right? Or thinking, or feeling. But if you don't know that word cadences, it's a common word we use in music. And another way you could think about it is tempo, right? It's the beat. We all have a heartbeat. Lastly, a couple of other notes, and one that just came to mind that I didn't write down is how, for me, music is a language, and I love different languages, and I know bits and pieces of actual verbal languages outside of English. But I love languages, and music, for anybody who knows it, is universal, which is pretty cool. So, whether it's the music we're playing or the music we're listening to, it has the potential for great power, which is often subconscious. And always, I'm going to try and never forget to say in every episode, if you have anything to add, leave that comment. I think I've already said it. I'm going to say it again. Please subscribe. I'm at that beginning stage where I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It does take time to put these things together, and like I said, I'm going to get better at it as we go. That's all we can hope from each other each day, right? So tell your friends, subscribe. I appreciate that time that it takes to do that. Pax Americana, and may music help you find your spirit animal today. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. I have the pleasure of getting to live in a paradise. There's many on this earth. And so I took that video today. It's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly winter, pretty much across the East Coast it seems like this year. But I am not complaining because I'm in Florida and it was a beautiful day. So I hope you enjoy the video as well. I'm sorry part of it is a little bit choppy, but appreciate y'all for joining. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.